Good morning, ladies. Today we're going to be doing, again, a Christmas card. I can hear you all groaning, but never mind. What we're going to do is we're going to make a card based on the die sets that we've got. If you pick a die that you want to use, this is how you can use it slightly differently. So first of all, I've got this snowflake one, and I used the big snowflake, the small one, and the medium one. And I wanted my card to measure 7 by 6, sorry. So, but I didn't want a huge card that snowflake would get lost on it. So what I've done is, that's my 7 by 6. So I've cut a piece of A4 card and I've cut it at 6 inches, and then I scored it at 7 inches, and it's got a flap. I've used navy for my background, matting and layering. I cut the snowflake into, I've used silver glitter, and I've cut into it, then I've offset it, stuck it on with foam pads, cut one out in blue and one out in silver, the medium and the small, and put the blue one on with another foam pad. And then I cut for this side, you can see I've just used the flap at the side, the panel at the side, sorry, and I cut into the silver glitter card. And then I've stuck the small ones, I cut extra small ones out, but I've stuck the small ones on to make it look like faux embossing. The same here, the waste from these ones, I've just stuck on here, and then put glitter pearl drops on. Forgot to do that one. So that's my first one. And that's using the snowflake. Now this one, I really like this one, but I've very rarely used it. So I thought, I'd like to use this one. But it's a kind of odd shape. Well, not an odd shape, but an odd size. And sometimes if you put it on an A4 half fold, it looks lost. So this is what I've done with this one. I actually measured my die. The die measures, if I remember rightly, 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I have done my card, I've cut it that way at 6 1/2, and I scored it at 4 1/2. Matte and layered, I've used like a burgundy pearl card, and then white. And then I had another one that cut into the card, so I just used that there, a bit short, so I've just put decoration on, but it's very effective, and that's just using your dies, your die set. You know, there's no other complication there. And for this one, this is one of the AliExpress ones, cheapest chips, but it's a really lovely, lovely die. And this die measures, when it's cut out, 4 1/8 by 4 1/8, which is quite an odd shape if you're wanting to mat and layer. So what I did was, something's just went onto the floor, it's a poinsettia die. What I did with this one is, I decided I wanted my front panel to measure 5 by 5. So I put it on and I cut it at 5 inches. And then I scored it at 5 inches and folded it over. Matting and layered, I just kept it very plain. Put my die on. I've got it. I did it in the dark green, and I've also done it in the cream, and glued them together. And then I just used pearl drops to make the berries and what would you call it? The other berries on the, I'm trying to remember the name of it. Oh, my brain. Mistletoe. That's it, mistletoe. So that's just to give you, it just gives it a lovely effect. Put Season's Greetings on, and then I did a chocolate box ribbon, a bow on that. I just put the ribbon round, did 2 pieces of ribbon, and then put them on top, and then just put that bit round and glued it on. Very effective, very pretty card, but so quick and easy to do. Right, so that's all the ones that I've done using those dies. As I say, you use what you've got, and this is the way, like, it's measuring, and I know you don't like measuring, but this is a way of using up those dies that you use once, twice at tops, and they've sat and you've not done anything with them. So this is a way of using them. Right, so this time I'm going to use this one. This is a Creative Expressions one, and it's Holly Lattice Frame. So what I did was I measured the biggest die, and it was 4 by 4 1/4, if I remember rightly. Measure it again. No, 4 5/8 by 4. So I thought about it, and I thought, well, I don't really, I want to have it sort of sitting halfway in my card. So what I did was, again, cut my piece, and I'm cut that 6 by 5, if I remember rightly, yes. I cut it at 6, and then I scored it at 5. So depending on the die you use, or what size of card you want, is the size that you will score it. My brain's not working today. But most of them, I've concentrated on this front piece. As long as I've got a nice piece here at the side to put something on, and then I filled in the rest of it. But this is the piece that I've concentrated on. Only one that I measured the back with was when I did the snowflake. It was the back I measured, so I did that 6 by 7. But all the rest have been done by measuring this front piece. So, what did I say? That was 5 by 6. So, I've cut a piece 5 3/4 by 4 3/4, and the next piece I just want a thin, so I've just went down 1/8 of an inch just to give me a thin border, just to make it pop. Okay, and the same with your back. Measure, you know that that's going to be 6 inches, so it's going to be 5 3/4, and then measure that and give yourself that wee border as well. So that's going to go on there like that. And then once you've got that cut, 1/8 of an inch, and that gives you a nice border for your back piece. Now, because this bit's sticking out, this is the bit I want to get even. So if I make sure I've got this even. again, I'm going to come round to the front bit just to make sure I've got that even. There we go. So that's my front bit. And as I say, you use what you have. Now, I'm setting this on like this because I want to get my green bits matching. So that it continues the flow. And there we go. So that's my matting and layering done. Now I've cut out using the biggest one. Oh, there it is there. I've used the biggest one. I've cut out a shape. Then I've cut out another shape using, in the cream, using the next size. And then I put the fancy piece on and the next piece to make a frame. And I've glued that on flat. And I'm going to put this on with foam pads. My scissors. So I'm going to lift this. There we go. Get there eventually. And that's going to go on my front. I still haven't made up my mind what I'm putting on the side. There. And then I cut out the white piece I cut out, I've kept. And I cut out the green piece using the frame and the centre piece. And then the bit white I've cut out, I've put behind and put it on foam. As I say, you have a look at the dies that you've got and see what you can do. And that's going to go on there. Now, I'm using a poinsettia die from Creative Expression again, and I've cut one out in green, and then I inked through the die with a darker colour just to highlight the leaves, and I've done the same with the red. I've inked through the die. It's maybe not that dark. I need to use a darker ink. See what I've got. There's a darker red paper. Let's see what light this is. See, so if I stick that back in the die, and get my there we go. You don't want it too much in your face, but you want to be able to see the veins on the... You just tidy up after yourself. Make sure you clean your dies. And there we go. Right. So that's that done. So just give it a wee tweak. I'm going to put that one on there like that. Could have actually gotten away with doing 2 of that bigger size. And there we go. Now I've got what you would call that? A sort of swirl. And I'm gonna yeah, that's nice. Now the reason I'm gluing it to the card is I might put a bit of foam tape behind that. I've left the cutouts in, so I don't want them to come out. There we go. And then the same with this one. And we want that like that. Just there. And then these bits, these are the waste that comes out. I don't waste them, just So I'll stick them in there. And then there was another one, wasn't there? Yep, there it is. And we'll have that coming out the other way. Yeah. Lovely. And then I'm going to put gold. So I'm going to get a piece of gold, I think. Well, I've got gold mirror here for that. So I'm going to cut that out. Now, if I was going to put a ribbon on, I should have actually put the ribbon on there before. But I will put a ribbon on it, I think. But maybe not the way. Merry Christmas. I might actually cut this out again in the cream. And stick them together. Right. So, Mary. I've been trying not to put it because I've got a plaster and I keep, it must be the finger I use all the time because I keep putting it in the glue and in the ink, and I'm going to put that straight on the top. And there we go. I've got all my bits now. I wasn't sure if I was putting on this at all. I had a hunt for the holly one that we've got, the square one, and I'm blowed if I can find it. I don't know where I've put it. It'll be someplace where I'm least expecting it to be. It should be in with my Christmas ones, but it's not. So I don't know what I've done with it. And there we go. That's getting a bit, so I'll just put some on. And there we go. And as I say, I haven't made up my mind what I'm doing with this bit yet. I don't know if I've got... I want quite a dark gold. I'm just gonna... This just finishes this off. If you just pull at your, when you put your drops on, if you just pull it, it gives it a better bud look. Stops it going into a circle. I need to put a bit of glue on that. And there we go. Get my craft knife and just clean it up. There we go. And as I say, I'll figure out something to put on the side here and take a photo and put it on WhatsApp. But it doesn't matter how you decorate it. It's this bit that's the bit that counts. What size you're going to make this. And as I say, decorate this wee bit any way you want. Okay. So it just gives you something different for the dies that you have. Different ways of using them. So that's that one. That's the snowflake one. That's that wee square one. And then that's the creative expressions one. So enjoy yourself today. Happy crafting.